Hi children, welcome back to my class. Okay, in your previous class, what you learned and what are the basic parts of a plant and what they are doing or functions of the particular parts, and also we knew about the function of root and function of stem. Now I want to ask some question. What are the function of roots? Come on, say the answer. Say, come on, say with me. They anchor the plants, they are firmly fix them in the soil, and they are giving support to the plant, but not only giving support but also they put control over from soil erosion. What is meant by soil erosion? Washing away the top layer of the soil called as soil erosion. And also what it is doing? Roots water absorption. Okay, roots are doing water absorption. They can absorb water and minerals from the soil and also nutrients. And another one more is they can store their food in that roots. What are the root stored food? Examples say carrot, radish, turnips, and these all beetroots examples for the root stored food. And coming to the another point is stem. Another part is stem. So what is the use of stem? The stem is also giving support to the plant, and also the stem is passing water and minerals to the whole plant which are taken by the roots. Okay children, and some of the plants they can store their food in their stem also. What are that? Potatoes, ginger, sugarcane, and also colocasia, and also garlic, some of the examples for stem stored food. And coming to the third basic part is leaf. Third basic part is leaf. Do you know children how the leaves can? See, all leaves, just you see all your around your surroundings. If you see that in your surroundings, the all plants leaves are in green in color. All leaves are in green in color. Why these leaves are in green in color? Because it contains chlorophyll. It contains chlorophyll, green color, one pigment. Okay, leaves are contains green color pigment chlorophyll, so that only all leaves are in green color. Okay, if you observe so many of that leaves, see all leaves are in different sizes and different shapes also. See, for example, if you see the banana leaf, see the banana leaf is like this only. Okay, and if you see that peepal tree, the leaves are like this only, heart shape, and money plant leaves also like this only. And if you see rose plant leaves, that is in some like this shape only. And if you see that guava leaf, it is in like this. If you see that grass leaf, it is only in single. Okay, and if you see the lily, and that is also like this leaves only. So what we are seeing the plants in our surroundings, the leaves are in different shapes and different colors, and different sizes and different shapes also. See, now I want to show some of the pictures of some leaves. See, this is one picture of a leaf, and this is another leaf. Okay, and coming to this leaf, this is China rose leaf. Okay, this is one more, and these are one type of leaves. So many, I am showing just some examples, but so many. If you see that coconut leaves and so many leaves, banyan leaves, observe then different sizes and different shapes only. And see, come on, in these leaves also different parts are there. Now we have to know about the parts of a leaf. This is the picture of a leaf. This is the picture of a leaf. First of all, this one only we called as leaf. These leaves will attach at one place upon the stem. What we call that is leaf base. Okay, where the leaf is attached on the stem, that part we called as leaf base. And coming to this stalk like structure, stalk like line like structure is called petiole. This line like structure or stalk like structure we called as petiole. And see, if you observe one line, big line is nearly we have to observe from this middle of that going, and this line we called as midrib. This line we called as midrib, and some of the small lines also coming from the midrib. These are called side veins. These are called side veins. And totally this flat portion of the plant, this flat portion of the leaf we called as leaf blade. Leaf blade or lamina. Leaf blade or lamina. See children, these are the main parts of a leaf. What are that? Once again I am repeating. The leaf which is attached to the stem, that part we called as leaf base, and this stalk like structure we called as petiole. And coming to that, from this petiole one line like structure is coming, that is midrib, and some of the small thin like structures are coming from the midrib. It is called side veins, and the flat portion of the green part we called as leaf blade or lamina. These are the main parts of a leaf. Now we have to know about that, what this leaf can do. Children, I hope you all understood about the parts of leaf. Now come again, see the parts of this leaf in that leaf. See, this is also one more leaf. If you observe this leaf carefully, you can observe this is a petiole, and this one line like structure, thick line like structure we called as midrib, and some of the small veins coming from that midrib we called as side veins, and this full flat portion we called as leaf blade or lamina. It is in green color. Not only this leaf, and coming to this leaf also contain, see, petiole and also midrib, side veins and also leaf blade or lamina. And coming to this leaf also contains, see, petiole and midrib, side veins, lamina. And see here, this also petiole and leaf blade, midrib and side veins. Okay, and see here, if you observe closely, the thin like line like structures, and what we call these? Okay, midrib or main vein. Midrib or main vein. And these veins, how they are arranged in that leaf, we called as leaf venation. We called as leaf venation. See, what is meant by leaf venation? The veins, how it is arranged in the leaf, is called leaf venation. This leaf venation is two types. What is that? Reticulate venation. The first one is reticulate venation. And coming to the, what is the first one? Reticulate venation. The first one is reticulate venation, and coming to the second one is parallel venation. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L, parallel venation. Already in your math subject you know about the parallel lines, means a straight line like structures only. Okay, see here, what is meant by leaf venation? In that leaves, how the veins are arranging in that leaf, we called as leaf venation. Leaf venation is mainly two types, that is reticulate venation and parallel venation. And how can we decide whether the leaves are reticulate venation or parallel venation? Come on, see this leaf. It is very broad leaf only. It is very big and broad leaf only. Not only this, see this leaf also reticulate venation only. So how can we describe? In this, from that main vein only, some of the side veins will come. It is also seeing like a net like. It is also seeing like a net. These veins are seeing like a net only. See, for example, if you closely observe, then you can see. Otherwise, you can take a real leaf and after that you can see that venation. See here, from that veins, main vein only, some side veins also will come, and these veins also looking like a net. This type of venation we called as reticulate venation. Example is China rose. The example of this is China rose. Not only China rose, so many. See, this also reticulate venation only. See here, this is also like a net-like structures only. Which venation is looks like a net? That is belongs to the reticulate venation. And coming to the parallel venation, see, in this name only is there. What is meant by parallel? Here, straight lines. It is like a straight lines. See, if you observe the leaves of grass. Example, leaves of grass. Okay, these leaves of grass if you observe, then you can see this is a line like structures only. In this line, straight lines only is there. They will not be there of side veins. Okay, there is no side veins are present in the parallel venation. If you see that coconuts, this is also comes under the parallel venation. And coming to that grass and also some rice, wheat, these all plant cereal groups also comes under this parallel venation only, because it has only main vein only is there. Side veins are absent in this venation. Example, grass, wheat, and some examples are belongs to that parallel venation. But children, before I told one relationship between the root system and cotyledons. Okay children, see, if the seed is dicot, automatically the root system is belongs to taproot system, and if the seed is monocot or single leaf, it is belongs to the which type of system? Fibrous root system. Like that, one more relation also is there, belongs to the leaf venation and root system. Leaf venation and root system. So how can we know about with this root system with leaf venation? For example, if the leaf has reticulate venation, automatically the roots are taproots only. The root system is taproot system. For example, see, if in your surroundings, if it is a mango tree, then you can pluck one mango leaf from that tree, and after you can observe then it is a reticulate venation, because it has a one midrib and also some net like structures are there, so that it is reticulate venation. And comes to that taproot system only, because the taproot system can deeply enter into the soil and we will not take out easily. Okay, and if you are at the same time fibrous roots, we can take out or we can pluck out easily from the garden. See, mango is also example for reticulate venation, and these roots belongs to the taproot system only. And coming to one more example, I told China rose. China rose also contains reticulate venation. See, this is the leaf of China rose, and see here also we can observe this is reticulate venation only, because all lines are like a net only. And if you observe that root system, it is belongs to the taproot system. So based on this, what we can say, a relationship between is there to the root system along with the leaf venation. If the reticulate venation, automatically it is belongs to the taproot system only. And coming to the parallel venation, and examples also I told, grass and also wheat. And before I forgot to tell that example of fibrous roots is grass, because if you pluck the grass from the garden, these roots also equal in size. Okay, and parallel venation, these leaves also like a line like structures, and this belongs to the fibrous root system. Fibrous root system. So if you want to tell anybody with these roots or with these leaves only, we can say whether it is taproot system or fibrous root system. We will not take out from the garden. Okay children, see, there is a relationship between the root system and leaf venation, and if the reticulate venation is coming to the taproot system and parallel venation is comes under the fibrous root system. See, how can we breathe? When we are taking air with our nose only, and nose and lungs are our breathing organs. Coming to the plants, plants also examples for the living things. Then how can they take breathe? Because they don't have any organs. So if you observe the leaf, see the back side of the leaf, if you closely observe means they can white color, some spots are present in the back side of the leaf. So that we call as stomata. That we call as stomata. These stomatas are we called as the breathing organs of plant. Breathing organs of plant. What are the breathing organs of plant? Come on, say stomatas. Stomatas are the breathing organs of the plant. And also exchange of gases. Exchange of gases can take place. Exchange of gases can take place in the leaf only, because these stomatas only can take that air and releasing the air also for the plants. Where do we can find these stomata? The back side of the leaf we can see the stomatas, and if you observe these stomatas under the microscope, it is in bean shape. It is in bean shape only. So the bean shaped organs are present in the plant are stomata, and in come to our body, the bean shaped organ in our body, what are the bean shaped organs? Come on, say that is kidneys. Okay, now these are the bean shaped organs are present in the leaf, which is known as breathing organs of the plant, and also it is taking exchange of gases. See here, I will give one small example. Okay, your mother prepared your favorite food item. Okay, for example biryani or something. You ate completely full of your stomach. Okay, there is no small space also. But again, if you eat that biryani, after some time you will omit that food, because your stomach is full of food only. So excess food we can throw out as a vomited. Okay, and coming to plants also, see for example, if you are pouring water, they will not tell no need to take water, no need to take water, but automatically when you pour that water, the plants will absorb that water. They will not tell anything. But how they can send that excess water? If the plant is keeping the excess water with it, automatically some days after the roots will spoil and the plant will die. But it is very essential to send the excess water into that water vapor. So who is doing that? That process we call as transpiration. That process called transpiration. And who is taking this transpiration? Leaves only. Leaves only sending their excess water as the form of water vapor. So that process we called as transpiration. For example, in your textbook they given one small activity. Children, did you understand about the transpiration? The leaf is sending the excess water in the form of water vapor. That process we called as transpiration. Okay, and see in the textbook, coming to that activity, one plant is there, and here what they given, from one branch take one polythene cover and you have to knot these 2 leaves or 3 leaves with that one polythene cover. Okay, and after that you can pour water to this plant. Observe, at morning time if you pour water, if you observe 2-3 hours, not days, if you observe 2-3 hours after, this polythene cover can little bit, it contains small water drops. This polythene cover contains small little water drops. So here by this activity what we can understood, the plant is also sending the excess water. Some of the water is used by the plant, but excess water they can sending as the form of water vapor into our environment. That process we called as transpiration. Understood children about this transpiration of leaves? Now coming to the functions of leaf. Function of leaf. So what are the leaf functions, children? First one is, come on, say, help in respiration. Help in respiration means breathing. The another name of the breathing is help in respiration. And second one, carry out transpiration. Carry out transpiration means sending the waste extra water from the plant. And also one more essential function is preparing food. Preparing food. Here see, the leaf is very essential part to the particular plant, because who is the plant leaf only preparing the food for the whole plant. That too, leaf only preparing the food. Children, do you know about that? See, for example, this is a plant. Okay, how this plant can prepare their food? With the help of water and, come on, say, air. Air means CO2. Air means CO2. And also who is giving CO2 here? Humans. Humans only giving CO2 to the plants. And also coming sunlight. And also sunlight. In the presence of chlorophyll. In the presence of chlorophyll. See, the plants are preparing their own food with the process of photosynthesis. See here, what are the main elements? See, water, air, chlorophyll and sunlight. So that only it is called photosynthesis. Photo means sunlight, synthesis means putting together. Putting together. In this, of course, one element also absent, automatically the plants will not prepare its food. So if the plant is prepare the food, these all 4 elements also required to prepare the food item. So these are the main functions of the leaf. What is that, children? Again you say, help in respiration or breathing, and carry out transpiration, and preparing food for the whole plant. And some of the food they can used by them, and extra food they are stored in the parts like roots, stems, leaves and also flowers and fruits. So this is about the leaf. And coming to the next part is flower. And next part is flower. See, these flowers are, we saw so many different flowers, and these all flowers are very colorful. All flowers are very colorful, and the flowers also we call as attractive parts. Attractive parts of plants. See why they are attractive parts we call. For example, for that reproduction or pollination, they are. See, for example, this is one type of flower. Okay, and these are in orange color, and these we called as petals. These colorful parts we called as petals. See here one picture of a flower is there. These are called petals. These are called petals. All flowers are in different colors. Why they have different colors means to attract the insects. To attract the insects only, these all flowers are also in different colors. And what is the uses of these attractive parts? Because of pollination. Because of pollination only, these flowers contains different colors of petals only. Automatically some of the insects like honeybees, they will come and they will sit upon that flower, and automatically pollination will occur in that flower only. After that, this flower can turn into fruit. This flower can turn into fruit. In that next classes, what are the male parts and female parts are present in the flower, you can learn. Okay, and now flower is turns into fruit, and these fruits contain seeds. These fruits contain seeds, and if you want to take that new plants, if you keep the seeds in your soil, automatically new plants will come from that seeds only. Understood, children? Flowers are very colorful parts and also attractive parts, and also these parts we called as petals, and they are very attractive because of to attract the insects, and after that they will help in that pollination also. This flower can turn into fruit. These fruits contain some seeds. When you keep the seeds in our soil, automatically new plants will come from that plants only. And these are the main basical parts of a plant and functions of a plant. I hope you all understood about the lesson. First of all, you have to understood about the basical parts of plant, and also types of root system and types of venation, and what is the differences between venation and also root system, and what is the differences between root system and for that dicot or monocot, and after that what are the functions of leaves, and what is and how this leaf can prepare its food, and how the leaf is helping in transpiration, and what is the importance of flower. Flowers are the reproductive part of the plant because it is help in the process pollination. It is also like reproduction process only. These flowers, how this can turn into fruits. Fruits can contain seeds. I hope you all understood about this lesson. You have to underline the sentences, important sentences, and you have to thoroughly learn that lesson, and you only have to complete your CW notes, and it is also in your study material. Children, while you are reading or writing, you have to maintain one CW, and in that first of all you have to write some synopsis words and what you learned and what are the key points you learned in that particular lesson, and after that page you have to write the question and answers in your CW with good handwriting. Thank you.